Good morning, all of you. Before going into the lesson, let me introduce myself. I am Charagundla Ramu, lecturer in English, Government Degree College for Men Autonomous Kadapa. In first degree, first semester General English, in the first unit, the name of the fourth lesson is effective listening. So here in this lesson, there are three questions. The first question is what is active and passive listening? So we have also discussed it in types of listening, active listening. Okay, so that is very important question. What is active listening and what is passive listening? You see, based on the way we listen sounds, listening is divided into two types. One is active listening, second one is passive listening. Active listening means when the listener show when the listener shows verbal and non-verbal responses, that is known as active listening. Verbal responses, non-verbal responses. The listener responds to the speaker. Suppose if he respond in two ways. One is verbal response, second one is non-verbal response. When these two are there in the listening, that is called as active listening. That means what are there in verbal responses means asking questions, giving answers to the speaker's question, then writing test, next appreciations, giving examples, identifying answers, then recognizing wrong words, then expressing opinions. All these comes under verbal responses. That means respond in the form of words. Verbal means responding in the form of words, that is called as verbal response. Then non-verbal response means it is uh, it is a gestures in the form of sign, in the form of symbols, just like eye contact with the speaker, then smiling face, then nodding head, then clapping, then clapping to the speech, then gestures, then attract toward the speaker. All these are come under non-verbal responses. So this is about active listening. And passive listening means when there are no verbal and non-verbal responses, that is known as passive listening. So here the listener not give the verbal responses, like asking questions, giving answers, then expressing opinions, giving examples. So he did not give all such type of things in this listening. Then he did not made eye contact with the speaker. Then he did not maintain smiling face. He did not nod his head. All these comes under non-verbal responses. So this is passive listening. Active listening, passive listening. Then the second question, what makes listening effective? How can one become effective? At least five tips important of listening. What makes listening effective? How can we become listening, how can we make listening effective? So this is question. And our lesson is also effective listening. So this is important question. So first of all, here I gave 21 tips. In your examination you have tried at least 5 to 10 examples. Here previous preparation of the listener. When we go to cinema, we all know about that cinema. Is it right or not? Suppose we know hero, heroine, director, music director, then what is the story, we also inquire with others. Is it right or not? But when we come to college, when we come to lessons, we do not do that. Is it right? So for every speech, what you have to do is you have to know what you are going to listen. So previous preparation makes listening effective. Then reaching to the place in time. So you should reach that place in time. suppose if you come late, what will happen? You miss some part of the information. Is it right? That may be important to understand the content. Then third one is seating arrangement of the listener. So you have to sit in front of the speaker. Then only you will get the maximum information. Suppose if you sit far away to the speaker, so some information may not reach to you, to the listener. Then eye contact with the speaker. So you should maintain eye contact with the speaker. Then distance between speaker and listener. Then good command over language of communication. Suppose the language used by the speaker, if you know that language very well, you can understand the information better. Then guessing the meanings of new words in the speech. Suppose if the speaker uses any new words, suppose if you don't know the meaning of that word, what you have to do is you have to guess the meaning of the word based on the situation. Then the listener must be active and attentive while listening. You should listen, you should maintain active listening. So you should give verbal responses and non-verbal responses to the speaker. Then listeners bias on the subject matter. You should not have bias. So I don't like that subject, I don't like this subject. You should not tell like that every subject is great. Is it right or not? You see, mathematics, if there is no mathematics, how can we survive in this world? You see, for everything mathematics is important. Suppose you of course mathematics is difficult, but you don't say I don't learn mathematics, I hate mathematics. You don't have such type of bias. Then listeners bias on the speaker. So if you don't like speaker, you should take good things from speaker. You avoid bad things in the speaker. ఉమ్, ఏదైనా పెద్దవాళ్ళు కానీ గురువులు కానీ చెప్పేటప్పుడు వాళ్ళు ఇష్టం లేదు, అతని ఇష్టం లేదు కాబట్టి అతను చెప్పేది వినను అట్లా అనకూడదు అనమాట. సో దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ద క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్ ఆఫ్ స్టూడెంట్. ఏ స్టూడెంట్ మస్ట్ బి లైక్ ఏ స్వాన్. వాట్ ఏ స్వాన్ డూ? సో వెన్ వీ పోర్ వాటర్ అండ్ మిల్క్ ఇన్ ఏ గ్లాస్, so it absorbs only milk. It left the water in the glass. Like that a student must absorb good things from the lecturers and elders. So you avoid unnecessary or bad habits of the speaker and lecturers. Then learners previous knowledge of the subject matter. If you have previous knowledge on the subject matter, definitely it will be effective for listening. Then listeners previous experience. If you have experience, suppose for example we have phonetics. So you have already learned it in your intermediate. So that is very easy to listen and understand the phonetics in degree. So previous experience. Then listeners must possess background knowledge of the topic. Suppose we must know the background knowledge. So what is background knowledge? So how suppose one poem is there, so how the poet write. So what is the age of that poet, what is the surroundings, what is his country. Then ఆ సరౌండింగ్స్ ఏంటి, ఆ పరిస్థితి ఏంటి, ఏ టైంలో ఇది రాయాల్సి వచ్చింది, ఇదంతా కూడా మనకు బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అనేది బాగా తెలిసినప్పుడు అర్థం చేసుకోవడం అనేది చాలా ఈజీగా ఉంటుందన్నమాట. దెన్ లిజనర్స్ మస్ట్ ఫోకస్ ఆన్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ద స్పీకర్. వాట్ ద స్పీకర్ విష్ టు explain to the listener. So what is the aim of the speaker by telling this content? You should understand it. So you have to think about the speaker while listening. Okay, స్పీకర్ ఏం చెప్పాలనుకుంటా ఉన్నాడు, వాట్ స్పీకర్ విష్ టు కన్వే టు ద లిజనర్. సో యూ షుడ్ ఎయిమ్ ఇన్ దిస్ క్వశ్చన్. దెన్ ఆస్కింగ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అండ్ గివింగ్ ఆన్సర్స్, ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఎక్సెట్రా. దట్ మీన్స్ యాక్టివ్ లిజనింగ్. దెన్ మెయింటైన్ గుడ్ బాడీ లాంగ్వేజ్. Suppose speaker is telling and you lay on the bench మీద పడుకొని వింటా ఉండడం, నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చేసి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ లేకోకుండా, సచ్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ బాడీ లాంగ్వేజెస్ యూ డి నాట్ షో వైల్ లిజనింగ్. దెన్ గివ్ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ అట్ ద ఎండ్. సార్ బాగా చెప్పారు, సార్ ఈరోజు లెసన్ బాగలేదు, ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ చెప్పండి. సో ఇట్లాంటి ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ అనేది ఇవ్వాలన్నమాట. దెన్ వచ్చేసి నీడ్ ఆఫ్ ద లిజనర్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో నీకు అవసరం, దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఈజ్ నీడ్ టు యూ, దెన్ ఓన్లీ యూ లెర్న్ ఇట్ ఈజీ ఎర్లీ. Then interest of the listener, then mood of the listener, age of the listener, all these um, are helpful for effective listening. Then what are the bad habits? Now we have good habits of listening, then we have know the good habits of listening. So this is opposite to the good habits. Then what are the bad habits of listening? So not paying attention to the speaker, okay, not paying attention, okay, your attention thinking in different way. Then talking with others while the speaker is saying something, then interrupting the speaker with irrelevant questions, not maintaining eye contact with the speaker, then having negative opinion on the subject matter, having a negative opinion on the speaker, then not following etiquity. ఈ వర్డ్ బాగా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, ఎటిక్విటీ. మనకు నెటిక్విటీ అనేటటువంటి లెసన్ ఉంది. ఎటిక్విటీ అంటే మర్యాద. గ్రూప్ ఎటిక్విటీ మీన్స్ వెన్ ఎవర్ యు ఆర్ ఇన్ గ్రూప్, వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు డూ ఈజ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు మెయింటైన్ సైలెన్స్. సో దట్ ఈస్ గ్రూప్ ఎటిక్విటీ. దెన్ లిజనింగ్ వితౌట్ ప్రీవియస్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఆర్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ నాలెడ్జ్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఫస్ట్ యూనిట్, ఫోర్త్ లెసన్, ఎఫెక్టివ్ లిజనింగ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.